How's it going, everybody, and welcome to episode 32 of the Ready Game Fire podcast. I'm your host, Chris Fox, and with me today are Mike Power.
Yo, yo.
And someone else. Now, your name's Nick.
Hello.
And where are you from?
Richmond.
And what do you do?
Not a lot.
No, okay.
Something to do with video games, I'm told.
Yeah, so you are from Nintendisco,
Gamerdisco.
now known as Gamerdisco, but fans may know you as Nintendisco.
Well, they might well do.
We've been to a few of your events, and they've been, dare I say banging? Can we say banging on the radio? Is that right?
We can say banging.
Banging?
We can say banging.
Okay, we're
I
banging.
think fans is quite a push.
Well, you've got all the followers on Twitter. I've seen them.
Well, we have a few.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think it's safe to say you've got fans and people know you. You're known.
Well,
Yeah.
it's very nice to know.
I hear Tom Hardy moved onto your street because you were there.
Well, me and Tom, we chat, and he's like, oh, you got to come. I said, you got to come to Richmond. He says, Nicky, I'm not sure. I don't want to be that close to Brad and Angelina, who have also moved into the area. And I said, Tom, you got to come Jocelyn Road.
Have they really?
Yeah. No, I wait in my house with the window open on the hope that Brad and Angelina will visit Tom and I'll be able to see them and go out and go, do you like video games?
I'm on the wrong side of London.
I bet Brad likes a bit. I bet he likes a bit of video game. I don't know. I'm not one for celebrity gossip. I like some
he
Brad gaming
likes
gossip.
Sonic Spinball.
Yeah, today we're going to be talking about Nick and what he does. We're also going to be talking about the news, specifically Wii U and a new PlayStation 3. And since Nick is here and he is as old school as they come, he just told me he still uses a CRT television. We're going to be talking about retro games versus contemporary games.
Oh, I like it. I see where you've gone
good
there. I
games.
see where you've gone there.
Because Mike is, he may as well have been born yesterday.
Yeah.
You have tailored content to the guests.
I know, exactly.
This is good.
Not
Yeah.
bad, huh?
I do a load of this and it's shit. This is good because you've tailored content. I see where we're going. I like it.
Though we don't listen back to the last 30 episodes because they're all retro versus new school gaming.
Yeah,
And
we just
locked out this time.
But he appears to have tailored
He's
it,
got
and
good
that's
appearances.
what he does.
He's got good appearances.
Does it very well.
So there's another guy. Well, there's more than just two of you. But who's your other main cohort and where is he?
It is David, and tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is his coming out party.
Yeah.
So
Cotillion.
I'm very sorry for not being there, but Dave on the old gay front.
Peace out to you,
fantastic.
brother.
Exactly. But Dave is he's working, so he couldn't be here, unfortunately. He sends his apologies. We will be ending this podcast with one of his songs. He's in a band called The Fades. We'll be playing that.
Yeah, we could probably work on that. I've got a load of content on the internet we can do. What if I don't say it was the coming out party, so he doesn't get annoyed, but we don't play his song?
No, we're stuck now.
I think we should call him gay and play a song.
Yeah.
We'll call him gay and play a song.
Okay.
It's his coming out party. I'm
wicked.
really, really sorry, Amanda.
Okay, so like I said, we're going to be talking Gamerdisco with Nick.
Indeed.
I'm sure your last name is Gamerdisco, isn't it?
It is indeed, yeah, no, born and bred. The Gamerdiscos, it's actually a French name, Le Gamerdisco.
And is it Nick or is it Nicky or is it Nicholas?
It's actually Nicholas.
But what do you like to be called?
I mean, any of them is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can deal with any of them, yeah.
Slicky Nicky.
See, that's what you get when you say anything.
Yeah, you've opened it up to the
I
wide.
said anything, Nick, Nicholas or Nicky. I don't think Slicky Nicky.
I like
I
it.
can deal with that, though. It's
Can I be called Slicky Nicky?
You can be Slicky Nicky. You sound like you're in Grease 2.
There was
unsuccessful.
There was a Grease 2.
Yeah.
There was. It
Oh
was
my
very
God.
unsuccessful and terrible, but you
haven't
do
watched
sound
it.
like a character.
Wicked. Oh, I feel like a character.
There you go. You got a little quiff going on as well.
So Nick/Nicky/Slicky Nicky. When did it all start for you, gaming wise? That is
Oh Christ, gaming wise, wow.
a while ago.
I mean, it was a fair while ago.
Yeah.
Probably Spectrum era. I remember probably my kind of first owning a console thing. It was probably my dad, and I remember going around there at a weekend, and he was like, "Oh, I've got this thing. You'll be able to do your homework on it."
Yeah.
And we would play on the Spectrum, Daley Thompsons and things like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And then as I got slightly older, I would copy the code from magazines and stuff, and I was far too young to be doing this. I didn't really understand what I was doing. But I realised that I could make the game Tennis. It was called like Mega Tennis or something. Despite I could make it Nick Tennis. So
Nice.
That's as far as my
Is
programming
that pretty much like...
That's what the
Is that
Spectrum was all about.
It's like modding,
Yeah,
right?
It was very early modding, I guess.
But you can
yeah.
use that to make games, and that's where the indie gaming scene in this country came from back in the day. You know, I had a BBC Micro, so I could play a lot of the same games, but I didn't ever make anything on it. But they were, computers.
We went to go and see Indie Game the movie.
Yes.
That was what.
And what a great film! See it if you haven't.
Cracker, a really good film.
Is that out?
Did you just call him a cracker?
Cracker. No,
Damn, a cracker!
no, you can buy it on Steam. Yeah, it's out, but
You can buy it on Steam.
That's not the one that I've done $5 to on that Indiegogo or something, is it? There's
No,
another
that's
thing.
Indiegogo the movie.
No, there's another thing.
I don't know. I don't know what you've been giving money to.
How do we
It's
know
like a game. It's like a game about the industry.
Oh no,
Ian
this is the
Lee's
film.
involved.
There's
I've
a
not
film
seen
about
it.
indie games. It was
I
wicked. But
haven't
it
seen
was the guy who made Fez was he was showing how he programmed on a. Was the Spectrum? I don't.
No, it was an Apple II back in the day. But yes, Indie Game the movie is fantastic. Watch it if you haven't.
Oh no, definitely. I'll be into that.
It is very, very good.
But no, very much from the Spectrum, and I think definitely the kind of Spectrum and English way of making games has kind of very much, it certainly influenced the kind of Gamerdisco.
Of course.
Because I think there was always a humour in gaming from the very start with English games. If you look at School Days and stuff like that.
Which one is called? That's not the one where, because I know
I'm
for a fact there's a game that you play a man and he's got his thing out and he's doing his thing off the edge of the building, and you play a naked woman at the bottom of the building and you have to catch it in your mouth.
It's Beat 'em and Eat 'em. The Atari 2600. That isn't the game. School Days.
I imagine School Days is more educational than that.
No, it's a very well respected
Similar.
Spectrum game. There's no wanking. There's no jizzing on the girl's mouth. Although I do know sites for that if you are interested. But I think
Blue Waffle.
going back and going back like to Hover Bother and stuff like that, games I used to play, there was a huge kind of humour in gaming,
definitely.
which I think is slightly lost now. You get it occasionally, but I love the kind of very British humour.
Yeah, well, we've spoken about this before, but games, I mean, because we're British, and quote-unquote humour in gaming nowadays is very broad, Americanized kind of humour that doesn't necessarily
Watered
work
down
on us.
maybe a little bit.
Whereas, we've spoke about this a lot last year, where Portal 2 is one of the funniest modern games we played. Have you played it, Nick?
Never played it.
Steve Merchant does a voice of a character in it, and
okay.
from start to finish, that game is...
I don't know.
It's bare hilaire, as the kids would say.
Do you know?
I had dealings with Stephen Merchant
Oh,
for a
really?
time.
Oh, hello.
He used to like one of my bands.
Oh, wow.
interesting.
Tallest man I've ever met.
He's big.
He is.
He's enormous.
See him on stage relatively close, but he's on a stage and he's tall and he's probably got. He's massive, yeah. He's a giant old man.
enormous. But a lovely guy.
Brilliant,
A
that's
lot
very
of
cool
time,
to know.
Steve.
Well,
We
if
should
you,
definitely, yeah.
if you like humour in games, I urge you to play Portal 2 because it is a cracker.
I'm sure we'll get
Cracker.
What is cracker with you guys?
Just crack-a-lacking,
It's a cracker.
cracking, crack-a-losing.
It's just one of the many things we say, Honky. Get over it. So you run a night, formerly known as Nintendisco, now known as Gamerdisco. What are these nights? Where can they be found? And why should people go to them, for God's sake?
Tits and guns, Shoreditch.
Well, we
That's the whole of Shoreditch, isn't it?
first met you guys a year ago at the Eurogamer after party,
Indeed,
and
it
that
was
is coming.
wonderful to spend the time with you.
Oh
there.
man,
We really-
well, we had a great day because we met Nolan North. He does the voice of Nathan Drake, who's a PlayStation character. Anyway,
No, I'm aware of the PlayStation.
there you go. So we were having a great day, and we're like, where do we go from here? And then we went to the after party, and you guys put on such a great night, and we had such fun. And Ready Game Fire Zone, Annie O'Brien beat 5 boys in a row. At Mario Kart.
I was thinking it.
And yeah, sure, I did the same thing with
Penis
Street Fighter
jokes.
later on in the night, but no one was paying attention by then. But anyway, that's not the point. It was
Well,
a
no,
night. It was a night with SNES gaming on a big screen, drinks, music, dancing, everything you'd want, really.
No, I have to say it was lovely to meet you guys because when we started the whole kind of doing gaming in a kind of social and club environment, we just thought it might just kind of be filled with basement dwelling kind of
They don't come out of the basement.
and they don't and this was especially evident at when we met you. It's just like there's normal guys who we could just go for a pint with, and we want to drink booze, want to chat about birds, and
That's
It is about tits and guns.
it's about tits and guns, and talk about gaming. So meeting you guys there, it was. What was your question?
Well, it is quite a surprise about gamers actually, because a lot of my friends who aren't gamers, they assume that everyone are kind of these closed off, insulated nerds. And when I started working at Sega, people were like, "Oh, well, there are a lot of nerds there," and I said, "Yeah, there are a few, but you'd actually be surprised how socially confident a lot of gamers are these days." And your night proves it, because they all come out to.
From my note, I don't think I've ever met a nerd.
Oh,
I've
really?
met people who are really into.
Why didn't you look in the mirror? Hey.
I'll tell you what. There's definitely more nerds at the IGN pub quiz than there are at Nintendisco night.
You used to be Nintendisco, it's now changed to Gamerdisco.
Yes.
It's a night with music, games, drinks, fun.
Well, when we, obviously now we're Gamerdisco, but we started off as Ninten Disco,
Sure, sure.
And Ninten Disco is very much a retro night, and
Bloody brilliant.
certainly, one of mine and David, who's not his favourite consoles is the SNES. So it was, the SNES was fantastic. It just was the powerhouse of gaming. But going forward with Gamerdisco, we tried to get everything from the 7 generations of
cool,
consoles
nice.
in there.
That's awesome,
But
man. Something for everyone as well. And,
But this is what we discovered. We kind of set a niche, which was fantastic. But then we realised that if you do have a niche, you have 75% of the world that's outside that niche.
Yeah.
So moving forward with Gamerdisco, we're just trying to get everyone in. And initially, when I started, I kind of got back into gaming only relatively recently, and David did as well. We were both on record labels, and we got dropped from our labels, and all of our money got pissed up the wall. So we couldn't go out. So we spent a lot of time together just playing games, and we started on the SNES. We got really into Sega Saturn. Spent a lot of money on Sega Saturn games. So I kind of felt that I was always in this kind of niche of retro.
yeah.
And as time went on, and I did have a PS3, but I didn't really have anything for it. And I kind of got into it, and I kind of always thought, I am retro. And then I play these new games, and I think, that's bloody fantastic. So I did think I was solely retro, but...
If you're playing a SNES up until 2007, and then you go to PlayStation 3, that's quite a jump.
It was a huge jump. Have you ever played Final Fantasy 13? They look real. They look like... It's like Avatar.
If only they sounded real, the
But
plot was
better.
real.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I don't mean Fern Gully, which is Avatar, but better.
Smash.
It's fantastic. So I realised I carved a niche, but it was a niche I didn't really want to be in. Gamerdisco is very much looking at the 7 generations of consoles, and we go from, we have NES there, we have SNES there, right up to 360, and just basically every kind of gaming thing you can think of, we'll probably have it covered somewhere. So we really, for Gamerdisco, we're really trying to create a proper community event. So it doesn't matter if you're an old school gamer or you don't know jack shit about SNES, you don't know what it is, you assume that's, I don't know, some kind of cheese grater.
Some sort of disease from the 90s. Yeah.
There will be something there for you. So we're really trying to get the community on board, especially in London. Obviously, it's a huge world capital city.
There are a few people here, yeah.
At the last
couple.
count, no,
3, yeah.
60,000.
Whoa!
I've been counting people since
Just in
I've
this
gone,
building?
No,
Jesus.
since I've been outside, I've been counting
counting
people. There's at least
60,000.
60,000 in
God.
London.
There might
But
be
there
more.
isn't a central kind of hub for gamers.
Yeah.
And that's mental. Because if you look at the statistics of people that game, and there isn't a central hub, and now I don't want to kind of sound like I'm doing this for charity or something, but I do really believe that there should be, especially in London,
Yeah, man.
somewhere where everyone can just get together, have a piss up, play some games, dance to some tunes, meet some birds, just have a general good time. And that weirdly doesn't exist. It exists over Eurogamer because they have the community parties, which we're very much involved with this year.
Yeah.
And we get loads of people down to that. But it is surely in a city this big, there should be something.
But on to Kickstarter, they've I don't know. I can't remember, you guys tweet them as well. But there's someone who's created a gaming pub in Scotland wants to bring down the London
Scotland,
Drinks-
Falmouth,
drinks-
Falmouth.
almost as far as you can get
My
from
geography
Scotland.
is
Drinks replay.
so far.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Loading bar-
they follow us.
Right.
Loading Cafe Bar.
Very,
Yeah.
very good friends of ours, and very,
Exactly, so
very much
imagine that
in
could
the
be
whole Ninten Disco, Gamer Disco aesthetic. Absolutely love the guy, James Dance.
Yeah.
He's running it down in Falmouth. He's got an Indiegogo.
Yep.
Indiegogo.com/loading.
Yes.
Really what they want to do is exactly on our wavelength. And I think a lot of people in gaming, the moment someone's on their wavelength, they always kind of hate them because, we want to be better than them.
Yeah.
But the moment we see
Synergy.
someone that does something similar to what we do, we just want to be with them.
Yeah,
And we met James about a year ago, and we've kind of worked through this idea almost together that he needs to do something in London.
If you're
And
achieving
now
the
he's
same
do-
goal, it's going to be great.
And
for
now he's
everybody.
doing it. So hopefully, and again, it's www.indiegogo.com/loading.
And that's getting a lot of love right now. So yeah,
It's got a
please
huge
go and
amount
help
of
those
lads,
guys
but
out.
there are so many people that are on board with that. Again, exactly what I said.
Exactly,
we need a
yeah.
hub.
Yeah.
But
That's
he's
me
just the
sorted.
person to do it. When,
I hope so.
when we started Ninten Disco, Gamer Disco, we just wanted to create a family of kind of like-minded people.
he's
You
gonna
know,
create
at the
you a
very
home.
start, we had loading, we had insert coins, we had retro GT.
Mm-hmm.
Just people that were kind of starting up around that time. And it's like, let's try and get an actual community.
Insert Coin have exploded over the last year as well.
Yeah,
though. I mean,
everywhere.
they're literally everywhere.
Everyone's partnered with them.
They need to send me more T-shirts.
They did us a Ready Game 5 discount for their
7
site.
Jocelyn
which is really
Road, Richmond, TW9, 2TJ.
Tom Hardy.
and that's Nick's address, everybody.
And if you go there, you'll probably see Bane / Tom
Yeah,
Hardy
and Bane
balling
lives
it
down the
around.
street. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, one of Insert Coin shirts was featured on the Uncharted episode of one of IGN America's shows. So yeah, I mean, you can tell by that fact that they've definitely, they're very well known now,
And
which
the
is
fact
good.
that
Because
you
those
type
guys are
in,
great.
what was it, RGF 2, RGF 20 was it?
RGF 250 if you want £2.50 off any order. InsertCoinClothing.com.
Get on it.
So get on that right now.
There we go. But no, they've done fantastically. And it's in the family. We just want to create this kind of group of people who are trying to make gaming community
course.
based.
Can we be like the scary uncles?
You can.
What? I'm too young to be a scary uncle.
You and your
No,
quiff.
you're not.
I am.
You're not.
I'm a youth. I can't be a scary uncle.
No, you're not. You've got an old man's
You've
soul.
got to be about 35. How old are you?
Easy,
I was going to say you've got an old man's soul
26,
and an even older
26.
man's face.
But what irritates me is both of you can grow facial hair,
Yeah.
and I can't. And I bet I'm
Chris, no.
older than both of
Chris's
you.
facial hair is
Just draw it on there.
it goes. Chris,
Is that drawn on?
No.
It's impressive. I know
Just-
this is radio, but it's
Just
very-
draw yours on there. Your nights are fairly dimly lit. No one will notice.
Maybe I'll do that.
So you guys also play banging tunes and you give out prizes and people take part in head-to-head gaming challenges.
We do indeed.
And it's a lot of fun. And
there's nothing else like it.
okay, so you guys are regularly based at the book club in Shoreditch. Am
We
I
are
right?
indeed. Yes, you are indeed. Yes.
So your next one is 10th of October.
10th of October, which is for London Games Festival. Just come down. If you
Yeah.
don't think you'll like it, just come
wrong.
down, try it out.
It's free
Have a
entry,
couple
right?
of pints, you'll like it. And everything's free. It has to be free.
But we will see you this Saturday at the Eurogamer after party.
You will indeed. Yes.
It's sold out, so I don't know why we're talking about it on the podcast.
Bragging rights.
There's a back door. If you go down the alley, you can probably sneak in over a couple of bins in that top
Are
floor
we talking
window.
about,
I love
Dave
the
again?
back
Or?
door.
Oh, I feel bad.
You said that.
It's time for second-hand news.
This is the news.
There was a big Wii U announcement, not
there
last
was,
week, but the
yeah.
week before, confirming price, SKUs, launch titles, all of that stuff. So what have we got? We've got the information here. So you've got the main one, which is white for the more casual people out there, with 8 gigabytes of memory. No Wii sensor bar bundled in with that one. And you've got the premium, which is 32 gigabytes of flash memory, and that comes with a Wii U sensor bar.
Oh, Wii Sense Bar, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't believe. So, I guess we'll use Sense Bar because it's all. That's what I still hate about the Wii U is that they're depending so much on Wiimotes. Like, I don't want to get a new console and be using old.
Well, it is
controllers.
good. It is good
It's
that you
good.
can use all that old stuff, but at
It's
the
so
same
important.
yeah.
Though. It's like it's integral. The tablet is and everything. You have to have more controllers.
I
Madness.
kind of feel that choice. I don't fully know where they're aiming the Wii U.
Exactly.
Because a
That
lot of
sums it up, doesn't it?
families have the Wii.
Yeah.
So they've got the sensor bar
Yeah.
and they've got the controllers. So to do one without that,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't-
But that's why they're saying you don't need a sensor bar because everyone's got a sensor bar. But
I don't.
well, exactly. It's that's what they're assuming. It's like when the 3DS XL came out and it didn't have a charging adapter. Absolutely ridiculous.
Does it not?
No.
I know, I did read that.
I tell you what I like. We're getting it before Japan,
It's
which
amazing,
is
isn't it?
absolutely
This is
crazy.
mind-blowing.
America get it first.
We
get
get
it
it
on the
later.
30th, and we get it on the 30th.
12 days later,
They get
12
it on the
days later.
18th of November.
Yeah.
We get it on the 30th of November, and Japan get it on the 8th of December.
Maybe 2nd or 8th, but it's not long after. But still, this is crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, that's never happened before.
Is this,
and
are they
it's-
just making a statement, or is it just simple manufacturing? I don't know.
Who knows?
It's manufactured in Middlesbrough.
Really?
I don't know, maybe.
That would explain everything.
Ladies
Three,
and gentlemen,
two,
you are
one.
listening to Ready Game Fire FM. I'm Nicky Biscuit, taking you through the nights with Chris and Grease too.
You should do the night the nighttime edition
We
of
are
the
doing the
podcast.
nighttime edition.
When it's nothing but sexy voice Nick and love when they read out the love letters. I love those.
We've got Christina in Shadwell who sending a little message out to the dark-haired man on the Northern Line train. She likes you.
And this is Simply Red.
And this is Simply Red Fairground, which is how she imagines the feeling that she has.
I just want to listen to you all the time now. This is.
We're going to go
never
over
stop.
to Chris at Ready Game Fire HQ. Chris, are you there, son?
Yeah, thanks, Nick. And that is a great
No
track.
problem
That's
at all.
that's my second favourite.
So Mike was talking.
Simply Red song.
No, so basically all the UK retailers now on, and we're looking at 250 quid for the base package and 300 for the premium. It's expensive.
And 350 for the Zombie U
With a
bundle.
Zombie U, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, but did you see the price it's going to be in New Zealand?
Oh well,
It's a
they
big-
get
big-
effed in the A for everything over there. Bless them.
But yeah, you're getting Wii U, aren't you, Chris? I mean,
Yes, I will be buying the Wii U. I went to IGN the other day and I spoke about it on video, and in the comments I got a lot of. Well, we all got a lot of flack for not knowing about the fact that you can plug in any hard drive to your Wii U. That wasn't actually announced in the European conference, so that's why we were ignorant to that fact. Reggie made a big point in the American one of saying you can plug in any sized hard drive. And that is great news because you've got infinite storage, and obviously external hard drives are cheaper than they've ever been and will continue to get cheaper. But I'm still going to stand by the fact that you need more than a maximum of 32 gigabytes of storage in console of flash memory, on launch date. I mean, I've had to change my PS3 hard drive so many times because of all the digital games, and we're talking about going into an era where it's going to be more about digital downloads, digitally downloading full retail games, and you can't have a 32 gigabytes hard drive. That's nuts.
And they say you can plug in another hard drive to download onto, but a USB hard drive is always going to be slower.
Yeah.
So
I'm
if
sure.
if you had a PC and you played Skyrim off of
External
a
hard
USB,
drive. Oh, God, yeah.
the frame rate's going to be terrible. It's going to just cock up the old computer. So I don't understand unless they're doing something very clever.
Yeah, I'm sure
with the way it's programmed or something. I don't know, but Nintendo often do these kind of things.
excuse.
I'm sure they've
But
worked out how to do it.
It does
but
seem weird.
it is a strange choice. I mean, I was running out of space, and then I upgraded to the Xbox 360 Slim, and I've got 250 gig on there, and I'm only about halfway full. But the more the merrier. You need all that memory, so you don't have to worry about it for a long time. The same thing happened with the Vita when you can't even get the largest memory cards in this country. Not good.
and
Mike's
the cheap
shaking
ones are
it.
well expensive.
Oh, they were all.
Mine's
horrendously
Makes me so upset. I mean, but you know what I think? This is a completely different topic, but internal memory is a weird thing right now. It's like, for me, it's the only thing they can use to delineate different SKUs of their consoles. Like you see with the new iPhone, it's the same size as they were 2 years ago. Like the iPhone 4, my choice was 16, 32, 64. It cost 200 quid to upgrade to the 16. 2 years later, it's still costing the same to get the same memory
it's
SKUs.
absolutely insane.
Base should be 64 again. It should be going up.
That's Apple, though, isn't it?
But
No,
it's
I
not
agree with you
Apple.
on that.
You've got Nintendo only throwing 30 gig in there. You've got PS3s only throwing 12 gig in the flash. You've got the Vita giving away 8 gigs. I don't understand these forward-thinking digital companies. Don't think we need memory.
Because they want to crack down on piracy, so
True,
they don't.
yeah,
I mean,
piracy.
let's face it, Nintendo have slightly effed themselves here, because the fact that you can have any hard drive plugged into your Wii U is going to open up all kinds of hacking possibilities. Unfortunately,
That's gonna
But that potentially makes it a very interesting homebrew console.
oh, of course, for homebrews and everything. But
They never want
unfortunately,
that.
for every one person who uses it for interesting homebrew use, there's 10,000 who just pirate games and destroy our beautiful, beautiful industry.
It's mad. I don't understand
But
why.
what is weird is everybody knows that storage is cheap.
Cheap as fuck.
It's
yeah.
so cheap. So, and again, going back to the iPhone, why is it so much more for just a little bit? And
You've seen how small you
There's
can get the
no-
tiniest 64 gigabyte cards like your fingertip.
How many songs could I fit on this fingertip?
Exactly. They're just, I don't know what they're trying to do.
12.
Oh, yeah.
You've got
It's-
particularly thin fingers. Skeletal.
Don't know what they're trying to do, but yeah, it's a problem across the board, and hopefully eventually they'll just change.
It
but
just seems weird, though.
I
It
don't
seems
get
very
it.
weird in this day
There
and
must be a
age
reason.
that
It's across the board.
Well, they like making the money.
But is that they're saving their money on the 12p? They're not putting a bigger hard drive in the thing.
but the
Like,
profit on that is enormous.
maybe that's. I mean, maybe something. I mean, of course, you think across millions of units. I'm sure it does, but that's what they think they can cut back on. That's not what they can cut back on. They can cut back on a fucking matte gloss. Colour it brown. I'd rather have a 100 gig Wii if it's muddy brown and costs
Ooh,
nothing to
muddy
pay.
brown.
Muddy brown.
Ooh, mine are muddy brown.
I'd take that. But
Right.
yeah, this memory thing is pissing me off.
So these are the launch window games, which leads from launch date up until March.
Is it an Anglican window? If that guy was on Blue Peter.
Venetian.
Stained glass. Assassin's Creed 3, Batman Arkham City Armored Edition, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Darksiders 2, Epic Mickey 2, The Power of 2, that's the same game there, ESPN Sports Connection, we probably won't get that over here, Games Party Champions, Just Dance 4, which is obviously the biggest third-party selling series on the Wii,
Yeah.
Madden, NFL 13, Marvel Avengers Battle for Earth, Mass Effect 3 Special Edition, NBA 2K13, New Super Mario Bros. U,
First new game.
Nintendo Land, Rabbids Land, Rayman Legends, Scribblenauts Unlimited, Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, Tekken Tag Tournament 2, which I will be buying because I don't know if you've seen the Nintendo costumes.
wicked,
They're
yeah.
absolutely brilliant. Transformers Prime, Your Shape Fitness Involved 2013, and Zombie U. I love Super Metroid. I love Mario 64. I don't like putting U at the end of games. No. Zombie U.
But that's surely that's just old age snobbery. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing.
What is?
Putting 64 versus putting U.
I just don't think it works.
But whenever
as well.
they put 64 after a game that was
Or
traditionally
HD
good, it
or
went
3D.
shit.
Bomberman 64.
Or Vita.
He's good.
Castlevania 64. Yeah, not
Mario 64.
A big announcement for a lot of people in the Nintendo reveal conferences the other day was that Bayonetta 2 is going to be an exclusive for Wii U, and a lot of people are very unhappy about this. But do you know what? In our day, some games would come out on one console, and some games would come out on another. You know,
It's the shift, I think.
No, very true.
It's the shift.
just the way it is.
I flip flop every day. I'm like, yeah, they're right. They should be annoyed. Oh no, they shouldn't. I go back and forth because there is a very valid point that no one on the Wii supported Bayonetta and made it the success as it was, whereas people on PS3 and Xbox did, and they're not going to get the chance to play it just on that console. I think it's valid.
Maybe they should buy a Wii U then.
They should, but they shouldn't have to.
A lot of people who are moaning are entitled gamers with rich parents.
I think true. They're the same people who buy exclusive content. They're the same people who buy Modern Warfare.
No,
Day
in
one
all
DLC.
seriousness.
Exclusiveness is
Yeah.
part of everything. Like,
But it's a bit of a coup for them.
it's a big coup.
Especially
with
for
it-
that hardcore market.
But very much to me, who kind of just browses the news, that's been the one that's come through.
Yeah.
So that just pushes, in my mind, Wii U exclusive content
Yeah.
straight into my thing. So I kind of think, oh, they've got that. What else is it going to do? So it kind of does make me interested in
Yeah.
the console.
And you know, looking at this launch lineup here, or this launch window lineup, there's not really a system shifter. Do you know what I mean? Like, the Mario game for launch is another 2D one, which is going to be a lot of fun. But when the N64 came out, it had Mario 64. And
I hated
think you're not a Mario 64 fan.
Absolutely hate it.
Uh-oh.
People
He's
went,
the-
"Oh
he's-
my
he's
god,
the
you
one."
can see Mario in 3D." And it's
can see his arse.
Like, literally, when Mario came out on the NES, I could see it in 3D because I have an imagination.
Oh, hello.
So when it came out on the N64, I thought, "Oh, that's not as good as my imagination." I really wasn't impressed. I
know-
really wasn't impressed.
I know what you
and
mean.
I played it a lot. I played it an awful lot, and I didn't like it as much. It didn't flow as well as Super Mario World. I didn't like it.
But like I said, there wasn't really a system seller. But I think the announcement.
F-Zero.
Yeah, there's no F-Zero.
Oh no, is that? Oh no, SNES. Sorry, Wii U. I
There's-
got confused.
There's no game, or there wasn't a game to kind of draw the hardcore over, aside from Call of Duty and Mass Effect and that. But I think Bayonetta is going to help out a lot.
It builds
And ho-
confidence.
and
It builds
hopefully,
confidence.
and hopefully
Oh,
they sell.
hugely so.
Because
hugely
it
so.
still won't sell millions, but it's still a. But it's just that it creates an
It's a
atmosphere
big
around
game.
it.
It's a big game that's
Yeah,
going
yeah,
to
yeah.
a culty game that's going to one console in
it's
particular.
cool,
I
it's
think
cool.
that's for Nintendo a fantastic move.
So Sega dropped Bayonetta because they made an announcement that they would only be focusing on Total War, Football Manager, and Sonic, and also other things like Aliens. So Nintendo then are now publishing Bayonetta 2.
Great game.
So
Will be a great game.
and have made it obviously an exclusive title. So it's annoyed a lot of people.
It's
but
a coup. It's a coup.
Yeah, it is.
And
It's gonna-
Nintendo doing that,
Yeah.
that's a fantastic selling point.
So all of this information, what are your guys' thoughts on the Wii U? So yeah, Mike, you said you're getting one. I'm getting one. Obviously, I got a lot of slack as well for saying, "Oh, there's not enough memory. Oh, I'm gonna buy it then." And then they're like, "British people are ugly, aren't they?" That was another comment.
Someone said that.
They said these British people are ugly.
no.
They sound horrible.
I thought you were very good on that.
Thank
I
you.
actually did
I
think you were
liked it.
quite good.
Cheers.
It's
guys.
hilarious. That's we're getting ready for when the video podcast comes. We're gonna get a lot of this shit.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna do it on that sofa right over there.
It's gonna be lovely.
I would imagine I'll be on it a lot more when
I
it
think
becomes
so.
video.
You're a visual man.
Very much a visual.
Yeah, you are our Bayonetta 2. You're going to draw people in. So what are you going to be buying one, Nick?
I'm not 100% sold on the pad, but it's Nintendo. I wasn't 100% sold on the 3DS, and I love the 3DS.
Oh, the DS was confusing for me.
Or the DS. So I
first.
really think if there's one company in gaming
Yeah.
that people are confused about something, the moment they get their hands on it,
becomes clear, yeah.
it's going to be Nintendo.
And it's
I
been-
really
yeah.
do think they're going to pull it out. What I would love to see on it is loads of third-party support. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, but Nintendo's just about in-house stuff."
Yeah.
But the SNES wasn't. The SNES was a powerhouse that people could
And not since
learn to develop on. And I really hope that the Wii U can be something like that, where people really do kind of push the boundaries on it, but not just Nintendo. I want
Yeah.
to see Konami come in, I want to see Namco come in, I want to see some decent fighters, Capcom stuff, to see what they can do with it. The power is probably there, and it's not the power necessarily in the console, it's the power in the whole package.
Yeah,
and I'd really like to see that utilised. Will I be there on day one to get it? Probably not. Will I probably get it within a month? Highly likely.
Yeah,
I think the problem with Wii U, I think people say this all the time, but since its announcement and up to its release, it's become even more dominant. Is other consoles' ability to do what the Wii U does?
Yeah.
And that's one problem. Is I wonder why, apart from Nintendo throwing money at someone to get exclusive deals or to get content, why you'd want to go to Wii U if I know the console the controller's bundled in, but if you're using Smart Glass with your Microsoft with your Xbox,
Which Smart Glass
or you're
looks
using,
fantastic.
and I know it's not as simple because you have to have the Vita as well. But I've done a lot of streaming recently with the Vita to my PS3, seamless. And that's only just the beginning. When the PS4 comes out, the Vita and that will be synonymous. So I mean,
But you just said it yourself. It's in the box, isn't it? And not everyone has a
but the
Vita.
power will still be there somewhere
But
else.
why don't we look at the Wii U as not necessarily next gen, current gen plus 5?
Yeah, well, that's definitely what it is.
Yeah,
isn't it?
I really, and then that's a huge selling point for it because I'll have that for 2 years. Then I'll get me new PS4 or Xbox.
Sure.
What's an it majig?
Yeah.
But maybe although it's all about this, what's going to be the next gen? Maybe Nintendo have been incredibly clever.
Yeah.
In done current gen plus 5.
Well, it's kind of a shame because you can't help but feel that they revealed their whole controller with a screen in it last year when they weren't ready. Really, they just it seemed like they were rushing to announce something, and I think perhaps when they announced that at that early stage, they've given other companies like Microsoft and Sony time to kind of do their own thing, which they've started to do.
They must have been thinking about it, but that definitely would have egged them on to
Well,
really
they've all-
start pushing it out quickly.
I was so impressed with the Microsoft one, and what I loved about that is it said you already own it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
That's
I've
good,
got
that's
an
good.
iPhone, I've got an iPad, and one of the reasons that going right back to the start of the PSP, one of the reasons I got the PSP was because it said it will link in with your PS3.
And now you can actually do that with the Vita.
Yeah, exactly. Now you do it with the Vita. But I
The
thought
PSP was a waste
one
of
of the
that,
things, it's so simple,
Yeah.
but it really sold the PS3 to me, PSP to me with my PS3,
I did too.
was that I would be able to use the PSP as a rear view mirror on Gran Turismo. And I thought, that's
cool.
brilliant. Using two screens, but they're independent. I really did think that was good.
And obviously Nintendo did this years ago as well with the ability to plug in your Game Boy Advance into the GameCube for games like Zelda, Four Swords.
But they did kind of weird stuff with that. And I love the concept, but when you're playing Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, in order to play two-player on the GameCube, you've each got to have a GBA, and that seems odd. So I think they've probably corrected themselves as we went back to the point we made before. That one player can play on the screen, one player can play on the controller.
That's cool.
That's brilliant.
It is good. It is good. Like I said to you earlier, though, I don't know when I'd want to play 2-player Call of Duty with someone in the flat. But it's great.
If you've got friends,
Exactly.
this happens.
Oh, there's the problem.
If you get a few of them,
First
you'll
hurdle.
be surprised.
I don't think I can. But interesting possibilities. Obviously, it's going to be good.
I like it. I think it'll be fantastic.
A Nintendo console launch around Christmas time? Yeah, why not? I'll get it. Sure, let's do this.
Well, I think the thing,
We'll all get it.
exactly. The thing I like about it, and that's the thing that the new PS3 is failing on, is that it comes bundled with an HDMI cable. That was weird to see. That's in both. I think both editions. Wii U comes with an HDMI cable. New PS3, still a shitty little not component. What was it? There was the audio cable, the AV cable. No, it's not even component. Composite cable. Yeah. Pathetic.
Well, Mike, you've segued us nicely into the TGS Tokyo Game Show announcement of the new PS3 Slim. It's a new Slim model. It's got a corrugated slidey disc entry system, which is all mechanical.
That's what
now.
she said.
to save on those costs. But yeah, now you press a button and now the disc tray shoots open. So it no longer takes your disc in. You just pop it in like the Dreamcast, for example.
I trust that more. I always fear when putting in my new £50 disc
It's true, I guess,
into my PS3, it ain't going to split it out.
You know you can force it out again.
Exactly.
It seems a bit cheaper to me. I don't know. I mean, it is cheaper, but we'll get on to the main problem with this console is that actually the console will not cost you any less to buy.
Yeah, it's not cheaper.
But so the console has been redesigned to clearly be cheaper, smaller, lighter. But yet Sony haven't knocked any money off the price.
Consumer aren't getting those savings, which is shit.
It's very weird. I like they have another plan still, because that seems just batshit crazy to me. Like, at what point do you do a redesign and not cut price?
Aesthetically, I quite like it.
I like it.
I quite like that moving the shooting back bit. Though when I watched the IGN thing, weirdly it defies gravity. In when you have it on its side, it doesn't move as quick. And that's when we're getting into quantum gaming.
Yes,
so
that's it. Yes,
I
Sony
think
have got a big
Sony
reset.
are the first people in quantum gaming. They are defying gravity, and they are fantastic. And I heard you were the Sony fanboy.
I am, but here you are blowing my trumpet.
But like
what?
Oh god.
Tits.
But like we said, it doesn't come with an HDMI cable bundled in. How much money is it going to cost?
£3 from Amazon.
But
Bulk buy, surely.
well, we've just
doesn't even come with a component. It comes with a composite.
know.
We have
It's
just
mad.
had the conversation about the Wii U not coming.
Yeah, everyone's got an HDMI
Everyone's
cable,
got
I
an
guess.
HDMI
Yeah,
cable.
yeah.
It's not good.
Who's it for? Who's this new PS3 for? Is what people have been asking. Like, it's not cheap enough to attract people who have been sitting on the fence. It's not new enough to get people to buy a new PS3. Like, even I'm not even thinking about it. I want to press that button and see the thing slide across and be like, yeah, I've seen the new PS3.
Now, I might be wrong about this, but when I heard about it a few months ago, and I could well be wrong, I could have got this.
Well, it only officially announced a few weeks ago, but
I
it was
don't know where it is,
rumoured,
but I've heard about it for a few months.
Yeah.
I heard it was the South American market. Now, the
Interesting.
South American market, let's base this on the fact that the last Super Nintendo game released in the South American market was 2002. Last Mega Drive game was 2001. Obviously, these are poorer economy.
Yeah.
It's a cheaper thing. I can't.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know what it's sold for over there, but I heard that it was for that South American market, who up to the 2000s had the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
So it seems like they thought, this is quite good. We'll do it there. This is what it's based for. But actually, maybe Europe will like it.
But as a global release,
That makes sense to me. But a global release, it doesn't. I didn't expect that we would see it in Europe.
I don't think we'd have a price cut. I mean, they obviously was like for Christmas. They've got their Vita. They should be focusing on that. Maybe if this new PS3 had like a Vita resting port on it or something that made it feel like they were like starting to, or you're bundling the Vita in with that
For £900.
I don't know what they're doing.
They have said today that the PS3 is going to be supported up to at least 2015.
But that was always. I mean, that's Christ. I'm getting maths wrong. It's a 9-year cycle.
But putting that information out today,
Yeah.
a few days after release, I heard it was South American. I quite like the look of it. My PS3s
nice,
that I've had are starting to yellow light of death. I probably would go for one of them because
But
it's
it's
a
not
lot
cheaper.
smaller.
It'll be those
It
other.
isn't cheaper.
No, but it'll just be the latest model, won't it? I mean, it will just replace the Slim that's on shelves at the moment, and it'll be for those 360 gamers who, one by one, they've all caved in the last few years and picked up the PS3. So it'll just be the one that the latecomers get.
In the end, cost matters. Knock 25, 30 quid off that retail price. And to be fair, so there's a 12 gig flash memory one that is coming out at £189. That's very attractive, but again, it's got 12 gigs of memory on it. You're
Yeah.
screwed from the offset.
Useless.
So that's something. But then I don't know.
But the other SKU is 500 gig. Now that's what I'm talking about. Nintendo 500 gigs.
I know.
So you don't have to worry about any external memory for ages, and you can download all the digital games you want.
All of the demos,
Yeah,
all of
but
the
see,
that's nice
previews, all of the videos.
Maybe that's what I'm being completely blind. Maybe that's what they're just positioning it against the Wii U. You've got 500 gigs in a PS3 for £250
That
compared
is,
to a 32 gig Wii U for £300.
That's
Well,
as
you
or-
might have nailed that there.
But that's probably maybe that is they just want that little piece of a little pie that people are humming and ahhing about a Wii U or a PS3 and they're thinking I'll stick with the PS3 then. You announce your 2015 thing, you got your Vita coming along. Maybe that is it then.
And
Maybe
it's
that's
still
it.
as or possibly even more powerful than the Wii U. We move on to the Resident Evil 6 demo. Mike, you've played that as well, haven't you? Thoughts?
Yeah, I played the Leon section.
So did I, obviously.
Yeah, straight away. You
Go.
want to go because that's supposed to be the most Resident
best
Evil.
bit.
And at first thing I thought when I saw him walking around, I was like, yeah, actually,
He's hot.
this is
He's
it. Of
always
course,
been
this is it.
hot.
It's dark, it's scary, it's moody. I'm shooting. No, I've just grabbed the zombie and pile drive him into the ground.
Yes.
This game is shit.
Underpowered is not a word that you would use to describe
Exactly.
that game.
That's terrible.
It's
You're
not-
not weak at all. You
it's-
are so overpowered.
It's not scary. Well, you've got two handguns, and you're just literally, and it's fun. But it's not.
It is
it's
fun,
not-
yeah.
I wasn't scared once. And you said it was dark. It's just dark.
Just dark. Yeah, I don't mean atmospheric. I mean no
can't-
lights.
Yeah, there's a difference between atmosphere and just dark and not being able to see what you're doing. And you can't.
There were moments when I ran out of ammo that I thought this is kind of tense. Then I realised I could just hammer square and I'd do a 3-hit combo. And
the
it might as
melee-
well have just shouted combo.
The melee attacks don't work that well either.
It's-
and it's more forced co-op.
No, I think the car will be it'll be fun. It's not Resident Evil. It's not even close.
Yeah.
And that's the Leon section. I didn't get around to playing them because I
Me
was so
neither.
upset. But
Not yet.
that's the Leon. That's being billed as the most Resident Evil, most survival horror bit. And it's if you've got a 3-hit combo that instantly kills zombies by kicking them in the head and the heads explode, you're not a survival horror. You're just a punching pinata zombies.
Could you please just get Shinji Mikami to work with you again, please, Capcom? That is all.
Anyone? No,
I
it's,
thought it was one of the best games I've ever played.
You haven't played it, have you?
No, never. And I don't like Resident Evil.
But anyway, so Steve Edwards from Ready Game Fire is not here today. He's busy looking for a new flatmate. So let's join Steve now as he shows a particular video game character
just because.
around his flat. It's time for World Wide Webwards.
Hello and welcome to World Wide Webwards, where I travel around the world interviewing video game characters from around the world. Today I'm looking for a new housemate for my flat, and a nice, normal young man named Ryo Hazuki came to look around. I record all my interviews with potential housemates for quality and training purposes. He's got the whole world wide web woods, he's got the whole world wide web woods, he's got the whole world wide web woods, and he's showing Ryo Hazuki round his flat. Hi, thanks for coming to look at the room. How's it going?
How are you doing?
Can't complain. Did you find the place okay?
What?
Pardon?
Huh?
The house, did you find it okay?
Yes.
I like your jacket, jeans and shirt combo. I can see actually like 5 identical outfits in your bag.
Maybe I should get another.
No, I meant 5 is too many, probably not too few.
I see.
Well, I'm Steve, and if you take the place, you'll be living with me, Ini's-san, Fuku-san, and Jeff. And you are?
I am Ryo Hazuki.
Hazuki.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be Hazuki-sensei's boy by any chance, would you?
What?
Whoops, still a bit sore about that, are you?
They killed my father. Right in front of me. I will have my revenge.
Look, I'm really sorry I brought it up.
No big deal. I'll heal while I count the stars.
Right, so anyway, you probably noticed that this place is really close to the station over there. We've also got a mini Tesco, and next door is a great little antique shop.
Antique shop.
Yeah, antique shop. Listen, mate, are you okay?
What's going on?
I wish I knew. I said, are you okay? Yeah, mate, your nose?
Huh?
Your nose is bleeding.
Not again.
Christ. Oh, geez, just go down the corridor, and when you get to the end, turn right and grab some tissues from the bathroom. Bloody hell.
The path ends here.
Yes, and now you take a right to get to the bathroom?
Right.
Yes, right, yep. While you get that cleaned up, what do you think of the bathroom, actually? Check out the homemade mirror my old housemate made.
It's the Phoenix mirror.
Actually, it's an eagle, but I suppose it does look a bit like a phoenix, yeah?
I should take this mirror to Master Chen.
What are you talking about? Who's Master Chen? No, it's my mirror. You can't take the mirror, I'm afraid.
I see.
Look, Ria, I can see you eyeing up the toilet and doing a little dance. If you want to use it, just go ahead, mate. I'll wait outside.
I'll show no mercy.
Right, yeah, okay, whatever. The flusher is a little tricky, but just make sure you...
Enough. Give me some time alone, okay?
Okay, that's a bit rude.
Let's go. Not this time or any other time. What? Why don't you stay still? Impressive. Good, now, take this. Good. Yes, that's it. Come on. I won.
All done, are you? You know it's really impolite to view your house and then take you shit.
Sorry.
It's okay. Doesn't smell half as bad as the one your father did back in '84.
My father did what?
Well, I might as well tell you. Your father and I were housemates back in the '80s. So maybe it's destiny that you move into this house.
Destiny?
Yes, Rio, destiny, yeah. Wait a minute. Is that my bathroom mirror under your shirt?
This is cool.
Put it back, I told you couldn't take it.
Good point.
Yeah, so you can't have it. Anyway, onto the kitchen/dining room. It's pretty tidy, as you can see. My motto is clean living space, clean headspace. Do you have a motto?
Yeah, to act without hesitation. To do the right thing. You put in the coins, and then you get the toys.
Forgot I asked. I clean so much, it's like my hobby. The other day I got the floor so squeaky clean that I slipped and fell on my back. It was pretty painful, I can tell you.
Don't ever forget that pain. Next time, it'll be worse.
Fair enough. Rio, say hello to your future housemates, Ini-san and Fuku-san.
Ine-san?
りょうさん、
Fuku-san. Ryo-san.
福さん、
Ine-san. Fuku-san. Ryo-san. Ine-san.
Rio-san.
How long do I have to do this?
Do what, say hello? You finished already? What is with this guy?
Fuku-san.
What? Anyway, we need the first 2 months of rent plus some utilities money. You got the cash to cover that, right?
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong? What?
Hong Kong.
You're telling me all of your money's in...
Hong Kong.
香港、
Idiot.
Don't call me an idiot. So you're telling me your money is physically in Hong Kong and we have no way to transfer it?
Yeah. Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
香港、
Shut up! Everybody stop saying Hong Kong!
I have a request.
What is your request?
Please help me get to Hong Kong.
Right, that's it. Sod Hong Kong, sod Destiny, and sod you. I don't want you living here. You're mental, mate. Please take your 5 identical outfits and my fucking mirror and just get out. Come on, get out.
I must avenge my father's murder.
We can do it in your own time. Goodbye.
Please wait.
Hell no, out you go.
How dare you cheat me?
I'm not cheating you. I just don't want to live with you because you're a complete weirdo, mate.
I see.
Good, now goodbye.
Do you know of a place where sailors hang out?
Freak.
Thank you, Steve. Oh, I
Cheers,
wish.
Steve, I love that. That's brilliant.
I wish I was getting shown around your
I
flat.
never got that. It went on. I thought he's not going to be, and then it was bloody brilliant.
I've
Love
been
Steve.
to his flat and I've never experienced it like that before.
It's fantastic. That was fantastic.
Well,
there you go,
Bloody
gents.
hilarious.
Fucking ace.
Loved it.
So we're back to the hot topic, which has already started seeping its way into our regular
impossible.
scheduled programming here tonight. Retro versus now, old versus new, contemporary versus retro.
Someone needs vocabulary.
Seamless.
So games have changed.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Shit.
they used to be old, now they're new.
Oh, I see what
But
you've done
why?
there. Oh, I like this. I like the way you've set that up.
Why do things change?
I used to think I was retro, and
You've discovered
I used
your
to, I used
roots,
to,
haven't
as I say, I used to play the SNES a lot, and I really didn't like the N64 at all. I
3D
hated it.
gaming.
It wasn't 3D gaming. I wrote this down on the train, so this should be pretty succinct.
It wasn't 3D
It
gaming.
wasn't-
It was another problem.
It
that
wasn't
I had.
3D gaming. I say that, I haven't got the page open on
No,
the phone.
sure, yeah.
It wasn't 3D gaming.
So many-
I really liked the detail in kind of sprite-based gaming. I loved that.
Yeah.
And when I went on to, and especially as we've spoken earlier on about Mario 64, it just seemed kind of, it missed a kind of charm or something. And I think for many years, I kind of felt it was a kind of charm that was lacking. I played Final Fantasy VII and I loved it, and then kind of from there I kind of got back into games. So I was kind of assumed I was kind of retro, but I got very casual since the last 5, 6, 7 years. I've gone back into gaming properly, and I've realised that there is this charm. I just think somewhere in between, perhaps the SNES and PS2, they just kind of lacked this kind of charm.
Well, they had to do that. They had
They had to, but it was
The
terrible.
N64 was a technical leap. But the PS1, this PS1 and
terrible.
N64, they had to make it.
terrible.
Jesus Christ!
It's a terrible console. The N64 is a
This is hard.
terrible
So you started with the
with the Spectrum.
the Spectrum. I started with the N64.
Oh, well,
So
look,
that
you
was
got
my
a bloody head start. That's
No,
like
not way
100
around.
metres, starting
No,
at 90
head
metres.
start. I got the
Even
the
in your
baton.
physique, you beat me.
Easy, Tiger.
And I think we're about the same.
So the thing with me, I think, is that maybe you started off strong with the Spectrum, the very roots of
There was
gaming, and by the
charm.
time you got to N64, you may be a little burnt. I mean, you're peaking, and maybe it's a little burnout, fatigue by that point. Whereas I jumped on it there, and it was the technical revolution. But for me, those games still had charm out the bum.
The N64 charm out the bum.
They had charm out the
That's
bum.
the name of your solo album. Charm out the bum. The N64 put me off gaming for many, many years.
That's crazy.
The game that got me back into it was Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
And I loved it, and I played it, and I don't know how old I was, but I must have, kind of been in my emo phase, or something. And
You
recently
moved out of your emo phase.
No, well, recently I went back and
To the emo
I've
phase.
had some time off work before I start my next project.
Yeah.
And I've tried to go back and play the Final Fantasy games, and I played 9 and I loved it. Played 3 that I loved it, and I thought I kind of saved what I thought was the best to last to go back to 7. And I started 7.
Can't even look at it.
I didn't like it. 7 is like a girlfriend who you think was amazing, and actually, if she comes around your house and stays with you, you're going to realise, she's just a kind of. I didn't like it. Well, I would say I love the retro stuff and I love going back now and playing it. But I love the modern games. I loved Skyrim. I love the realism of the new Formula One game, which we spoke about, earlier on.
Yeah.
I love that. Final Fantasy 13-2, for me, is fantastic. Because it mixes time travel, quantum physics, Chelsea Football Club,
All of those
everything
things.
into
Whoa,
a
whoa.
RPG game.
Yeah.
But, so I love the old stuff and I really love the current modern stuff.
Yeah.
But for me, where really there is a mid-ground where I spend so much time playing is iOS games. Because they have the pick up and play
Yep.
of
That
the
we
old
used to
stuff,
have, yeah,
but
yeah.
they have the kind of beauty and the kind of graphical thing. So I'm very much, although obviously coming from Ninten Disco, you think I'm going to be very old school. I'm kind of both old school and new school at the same time.
Yeah.
So finding out the iOS stuff has really
Yeah,
worked.
I think this is
I played a game the other night. I'm sorry.
That's fine, yeah.
I played a game with a business partner, James. We played a game called The Room.
Yes.
Which is well worth looking out, and we played it for 3 hours, and we were absolutely engrossed.
It's tough stuff.
But
I
we were
barely started it.
engrossed in the same way that I used to play Link to the Past.
Yeah.
But also engrossed in the same way that I played Final Fantasy II John Terry Edition. So it just kind of met this mid-ground, and it was reading the questions that I was going to be asked today on the train.
Yeah.
And it really made me think, iOS is really
I
bloody
think
good.
if there's two things I could say, firstly, the idea that there was no charm in Diddy Kong Racing.
No, Diddy Kong Racing.
Diddy Kong
had
Racing!
charm. Diddy Kong Racing had charm. It had more charm than Mario 64, which I would rather repeatedly scrape my face with a cheese grater than play. It had more charm than that. Did it have more charm than the original Mario Kart?
Yeah,
Yes, and his name is Tip Top.
Pippi. Pippin? What's her name?
You're
I love
a
her.
moron.
Pipsy.
Pipsy. And the
I'm
second
only here for your freebies.
and the second point was I
loved GoldenEye. I loved GoldenEye. I loved F-Zero.
Good
4
man.
players can play at once. There were bits of the N64 I loved,
Yeah.
but it put me off of gaming.
it's really interesting. I mean, that's always tough.
But there are bits I love about it.
Sure.
But it put me off.
But your
of gaming.
upbringing's so different. I can't. Yeah, it's hard for me to kind of think out because that
But
put me into gaming. Like,
I'm
it's
only
really,
21.
It was Mike's first console. He was born in '95.
The other thing.
So to Britpop for you means nothing.
No, it's Spice Girls.
Yeah.
Britpop is
Britney Pop.
menswear.
Britney Pop.
Sleeper.
I understand. Blur.
Only Park Life onwards.
Well, that's the only song, right? And the other thing is, I was going to come in today was that exact point was looking at not just iOS games, digital games, PSN, Xbox Live, Steam. My God, indie gaming and even digital games like Braid, Flower, Journey, Car Crash. Meat Boy. They are indie, but they're obviously got their Xbox Live Arcade, so they're that higher level of indie.
I've only just...
They're all meshed together to make this, like this brand, this old meets new, and I love it.
Now, this is what I love. I had PS3 from like literally the day it came out, and I was a long time on getting Xbox 360. But my God, Xbox Live,
it's great.
It's absolutely incredible.
Not bad,
I had spent like 5 years of my life not knowing this existed.
Exactly right.
And now you can play these games. No, it's fantastic. And when I say iOS, I probably do mean Xbox Live
iOS
as well.
Is great though. I mean, anyone who dismisses the iPhone platform right now as not being a game platform is just so misinformed. The stuff. I mean, oh man, I'm playing Super Hexagon at the moment. That's by Tom Kavanagh who made VVV. Stunning. And again,
stutter.
No, that's a game. And VVV is the definition of like the oldest school game you could find with
it looks like a Spectrum game,
but such modern sensibilities of
wicked.
Music, drama, little characters that.
Even the remakes.
iOS, brilliant.
I love the fact that iOS is doing these remakes.
Yeah.
And what I really like, especially the Monkey Island remake, is you can play it in the modern version, but you just sweep your hand across.
I wish
it goes back to old school.
I really wish all remakes did that.
Really intelligent programming is they totally know what their target market is. They've got the people that played it originally and the people that will be enticed by these graphics. I really think that
I couldn't get through the new Monkey Island because all I did was sit there and go old, new, swipe, new, old. I just couldn't get past it.
It's like Mike, how have you been? I'm still in the first town. How long have you been playing? 9 hours.
I just couldn't get past it. It was stellar, and you're right. Not enough games do that.
Yeah, so I mean,
imagine a Streets of Rage 2 remake where it's all super slick HD, but one swipe button, you're back to just imagine that.
I'm in Monkey Island. I'm still up to the Vicious Swan.
Well, yeah, but I would like that. That's what first I got in mind because I liked those graphics.
Well, I mean, here obviously is the answer. It's come across very early in this discussion, but the answer is now. Now is the best time for games because whatever you want, you can find it. Whether it be your big AAA Call of Duty game, or like we just said, the indie games that you can find on Steam, on Xbox Live, and that's where you'll find the old school platforming thrills that we all grew up on, apart from Mike.
But this is boring. That's boring to get to so early. So I want to dismiss all early games.
No, but what I'm going to say is I'm going to say about his later games like Skyrim are really, really immersive.
Yeah,
hugely immersive.
I've clocked yesterday 115 hours. Oh,
that's
dear Lord,
that's crazy.
You have a girlfriend, which is incredible. So credit goes to you.
Thank you.
But then
in Skyrim.
Yes, Camilla Viserius. I'll tell you this, I've been married to Camilla Viserius for 115 hours, and every time I come up to her, she says, "Thanks for bringing the claw back." That was 115 hours ago.
This isn't the time and place to get into Skyrim, but
no,
I don't rate that game at all.
We could do a Skyrim
podcast.
My point
and
I would slam it.
My point was that I feel really immersed in that in the same way that I felt immersed in Secret of Mana. So playing these new games sometimes makes me just appreciate how good those little gems were on the 16-bit era.
Yeah, definitely.
I think
it really does.
How can you not like Skyrim at all? You like Fallout, but you don't like Skyrim.
Fallout hit a really nice balance of it was big, but a lot of the side quests, a lot of the missions, they all fed back themselves quite nicely. For example, you had K-Dog 24/7, like always broadcasting what you were doing. Three dog, nice. That gave me a. That straight away gave me a sense. It was more than that, but that by itself gave me a sense of what I was doing mattered. Skyrim is.
Want to set the world.
The music as well. Skyrim setting is genius, but.
I just want to find a flame in your heart.
So hold on, but do you own Skyrim or did you just?
Yeah.
I thought you just rented it.
I bought that motherfucker because
on the PS3.
Yeah, because that doesn't matter.
That's why you don't like it.
Because I hate PS3.
And they both work for you.
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine.
None of these memory
I
problems.
got a little
No,
bit of a
nothing.
problem in
Just
like
works fine.
White
Very
Run.
good.
Fallout 3, I had a huge problem on it.
Yeah,
But-
me too.
Yeah, yeah.
Progression blocker at the GOAT exam.
The no, the
But
pro.
we've
Sorry,
covered
Oh,
that.
did you have that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't have that.
Yeah.
Sailed through me goat, like I did me GCSEs and A levels, all A's.
yeah, nice
just-
seat.
we'll
Good
just-
seat.
I
steady
just
seat.
assumed that it looked at your kind of past school record.
Yeah, I
and
put
just
my
passed
A
you
level
top
certificates
marks.
into the PS3. I
just-
started into the PS3
I
drive.
assume that's how it works.
And just like my GCSEs, in that GOAT exam,
You had
I
to
just,
restart.
I just stared at a blank piece of paper for 2 hours and nothing happened.
No, I mean Skyrim.
no,
Someone,
I did get some C's.
someone else has said it much better than me, but Skyrim is like an ocean as deep as a puddle. And that for me is exactly what I believe in. That is that there's so much in there, but you can't get into it. I mean, you can get into it in terms of time, but for me, I never could lose myself in that because every quest, I could lose myself in an individual quest, but it would finish. I'd look around and I just feel like, well, that didn't matter.
I think, weirdly, I'm agreeing with you on something.
Yeah, but the
I
ability.
didn't
That is
care.
weird.
I didn't care
That's
enough
the barrier,
about
if
the
you care or not.
overall
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
story arc.
I know what you're
Because,
saying.
to be honest, these dragons I couldn't really give a shit about. But when I played Fallout, I did care about the story arc.
Oh yeah,
I know
So
what you-
and
okay,
the
yeah,
missions
yeah, yeah.
were probably better in Skyrim.
yeah, but
But
definitely
I
more
just
varied.
didn't care about the story arc.
I love the world of Skyrim though. I like being
It's
in that
beautiful,
world.
yeah.
We-
By the
I've got the most expensive house in Solitude.
Yeah,
it's
I've-
brilliant. But yeah, okay.
That
I
had
know,
some bugs
I know
in
what
it.
you. Oh, tell me about it. I've got this really annoying graphical corruption next to my weapon rack. So when I go and look at my weapons, there's this bloody texture flashing around. But I know what you're saying. I think when you talk to characters in Skyrim, you know, it's better than it was in Oblivion, but
Yeah,
it's still
people are real.
It's still a bit hollow, and it's still tough to connect personally. Just a second. So I know what you're saying, Mike, but I also still think it's a problem with Mike rather than Skyrim because
Not a problem, just a clash.
Yeah, because there was a time when I said, "Don't you love Pac-Man Championship Edition DX?" and you were annoyed because there wasn't a story in it.
Yeah. but that's entirely it. I'm playing.
That's your point!
I'll play iOS games that have no overarching, dare I say, I don't mean point, I mean
this comes back to one of
overarching
my points I just
story or momentum to carry you through because I'm on the train playing it. For example, I've just started playing Borderlands 2. Instantly, I love that game so much more than Borderlands because straight away, you're the first thing you do, it's all to do with the main antagonist of the game. He's fucked you up straight away. Straight away, you see him, you talk to him, you know you hate him. Straight away, you know,
He's funny
bam,
as well.
he is funny. Bam, straight away, I'm gonna get this guy, and you're instantly into the world. Borderlands 1, there was none of that. Same with Skyrim. Fallout 3, straight away, bam, you have to find your dad. Skyrim, what's your main objective?
Your dad was Liam Neeson,
and he
though.
was Liam Neeson as well.
And he has
so, I
been
mean,
taken.
I'm going to be taken.
I'm going to go restore the water of
I've
the
got some
wasteland.
skills, specific skills. I will kill you and find you and kill you.
And for me, that stuff is so important. Just that sense of a purpose of why you're doing something that makes old school gaming so difficult for me to
bloody hell,
pick up Pac-Man Championship Edition and play it for no reason. Unless I'm on the
going to
train.
agree with you again.
Cool, I like it. What do we think about? I mean, obviously the let's call it the ecosystem of modern gaming versus old gaming. It was very simple in the retro days. You get your console, you get a game, you're done.
Yeah, run to the right.
Run to your right, but more just the thing. You got your cartridge, your console. It's in your controller. You're playing.
Consoles didn't used to break as often back in the day.
Well,
I will
let's
say
be
that.
I
Now
used
we've
to
got-
like
what do we-
the
I mean-
fact that developers actually made a game
That was-
that didn't break, it didn't require loads of patches, and they finished it.
Yeah.
And they put it out on a cartridge, and you put it in, and it just worked.
But
I
what-
really liked that.
But is that? I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I'm a big new school gamer. But I did play in a time when there was no online. There was just a cartridge on 64. And you never appreciate it back then. But I still like where we stand now. Yeah, sure. There's unfortunately makes people a bit lazy and they patch stuff late, but it does
Yeah.
mean they can patch in new stuff. And as they fly, something like Uncharted 3, which has just had. I wish I'd gone an episode without mentioning Uncharted.
We've ruined it again.
That has impressed me. I don't play the multiplayer enough anymore, but they are constantly updating it based on feedback, and that's the same with most multiplayer games. And that's incredible.
And let's not forget 39p now 69p iPhone apps that you pay a one-off fee of 69 pence for, and they will continue to update and add new stuff for no extra charge over time. And that's
that is amazing.
and that's why we are living in the best gaming time
I
now
think
because of that.
That's real.
100%.
I'm annoyed we all agree on
that.
that. I thought we were all going to disagree.
So games are more cinematic than they ever have been.
Yeah.
The AAA main titles now, your Uncharted's, your CODs,
Final Fantasy.
but you know, games used to be. You used to feel like you had a lot more control. Nowadays, sometimes it feels like a sightseeing tour. You don't always have control of what's happening on
Sure.
screen, and that kind of sucks.
Does
Whereas before, you know, it was maybe less of a story. Well, in fact, most of the time, definitely less of a story. But you felt you really were that character rather than sometimes Nathan Drake starts falling down a thing and all of a sudden a QTE will pop up to press X button to save the world and you will.
But luckily he's well written, so it's not such a big problem.
Sometimes it's nice to be taken on a journey.
Well,
yeah, definitely.
Rather than have to make up your own journey.
Oh, definitely.
Of Journey.
I like Journey.
Journey.
What the fuck's Journey?
Journey. So Journey is it's a game that I think has is a modern take on a very old idea, which is just exploration, pure and simple.
No, I've heard that and I've always wanted to actually play it.
You should
I've
definitely
never
get
got
on
around
it.
to it.
You should play it.
And
Journey is fantastic.
That's what
I definitely.
I say that because it's
I've
a good
been told
example.
it by
Like
a number of
I was
people.
just saying of games that kind of are like the old way of playing, but in new, beautiful ways of doing it. And talking of that, just what do you think of HD remakes of old games?
All for them, because you can't play old games. Like we said, you go back and play Final Fantasy VII, and you can't even look at it. HD remakes are for people who want them.
Stand Cloud. He was like a
That's never going to change.
He was
sadly.
like,
and he's one of the most beloved characters in history.
Oh, he's like a whiny 14-year-old girl. God, he's irritating.
Great hair.
And I loved Final Fantasy IX because for the Final Fantasy characters, they're always a whiny fucking emo kid. But I love the fact that in Final Fantasy IX, he was a kind of womanizer.
Yeah.
And it's like, I kind of... Okay,
I relate to that guy.
I don't want to say I relate to him, but it's like, God, he's had sex. For the
I
whole
worship
of
him.
Final Fantasy VII, you think somebody shagged Cloud, and he's not going to care about saving the world. He's going to care about getting his end away with better-looking girls.
He's got quite a big
And
end, though.
that's
That's
why
a
I
buster
like.
sword,
That's why I like the Persona series of RPGs, because it's just about getting off with birds and shooting yourself in the head, but it somehow feels
As is
more
life.
realistic than a Final Fantasy, because Cloud will not look, and don't get me started on Squall from
I
Final
like
Fantasy VIII. He
Squall.
doesn't even bloody make eye contact with
I
a
was
girl.
young, and then Squall was quite a big thing. Cause
I
was
can't
young
stand
when I
it.
played.
Final Fantasy IX is brilliant because he talks about birds he's been with.
So I've been playing.
Journey, it's fantastic.
No,
Great band as
screw
well.
Journey, much better than that. I've been playing the Half-Life Black Mesa,
yeah.
remake of Half-Life, and that it's a tough one because
Looks so
remaking Half-Life. I mean, what the fuck were they thinking? That's ballsy, but they've done it. Like they've redone all the textures, all the models, everything's great, but they've added stuff. My God, they've just gone in and added whole chunks of levels. They've redone stuff. You're going to Valve and you're just redoing Valve's work.
Yeah, but it was,
And they're
Valve,
okay with
it
it.
was Valve's early work, don't forget.
Sure,
But
and who knows if it's better or not? But that
Do
kind of
you
stuff
feel
that's really interesting.
Did you think it took any charm away, or you thought it kind of added it?
Because they kept a lot of the original dialogue and added some, so actually that's where Half-Life's charm
where
came
it
from,
kinda
was
comes from.
the dark scientist speaking. So actually, yeah, it kept it. They've done an incredible job. Like, it's annoying how good it is. Like, you thought it would be a complete failure, but they've done a grand old time in Half-Life.
That's a hell of a
It's a
task.
It's a hell of a
do
task.
it, and
It's
still
taken
come out
them
with-
long enough, but yeah, what they've done is great, and that kind of stuff that's going to be interesting to see if people try and do that more. Like, not just HDify Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Actually retweak it.
Yes.
Like, they're talking about Half-Life. The end of Half-Life is at the end of Half-Life you go to the alien planet Zen. A lot of people say it's very weak. I agree, it's quite weak. They've talked about it. They haven't released that bit of the game yet, suspiciously, and they've kind of maybe hinted that maybe they're just kind of reworking
they've moved it. It's now set in a warehouse.
yeah, exactly.
The Zen warehouse.
It's now set in the Left 4 Dead universe.
Well, the point is this: the gaming space now is more varied than it ever has been, and like we've said, whether you've got very old school mentalities or like Mike, you were born in the mid '90s.
I wish.
There is something for everyone out there, and it's
Yeah.
easier to get and it's cheaper to get than ever before. So
The accessibility
yeah.
to games is now absolutely enormous, and we've spoken about HD remakes. You're talking about Half-Life. I can talk about for the iPad $10.99. I've got Final Fantasy 3, which is like 60 hours of gameplay for $10.99. I don't think that's expensive, but $10.99, 60 hours of gameplay.
Exactly right.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
You just have this total open world, so you really can just pick and choose exactly what you want from games.
I think
there's no better time to be a gamer.
The word charm is a good one, because I think, when you look at the driving forces of the industry, Modern Warfare, Battlefield, Assassin's Creed, yeah, there's fuck all charm in there, really.
Madden.
I mean, Madden, yeah. I mean, the
John
money
Madden
spinners,
has no charm.
but it's told you I'm Madden.
Oh, I don't mind a bit of Madden.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Of
He's
course,
got
it's a very charming
But
guy.
that keeps the industry bustling, so that we can have the money to splash around on
Captain
HMV, makes the whole
Price.
game.
Captain Price can charm me any
That's
night
true.
of the week.
But you can also have whatever you want now, and that's it means you're a little spoiled. So it means that you get entitled people who want this and that.
I do think
want
there
that
are
changed.
because of how brilliant everything is.
Yeah.
Is it going to collapse?
Can become a little bit.
Is there going to
spoiled.
be a shrinking again?
No.
It won't. I mean, just fundamentally, the way the world is, it won't bust like it did
gonna
in the 80s because we
Yeah.
understand.
I don't mean bust.
Yeah.
I mean like contract, because I mean there's always that worry of gaming getting a little bit too flat, getting a bit too wide,
No.
which is happening. I mean there are a lot of most franchises, Final Fantasy is becoming, and Resident Evil is becoming diluted. It's becoming
Yeah, that's true. But like I said, for
watered
every one of that, you've got people like
Yeah, I
Team
hope so.
Meat working on really interesting,
Yeah.
hardcore, old school
I don't even
platformers.
agree with your Final Fantasy thing.
No? Do you miss old school gaming?
Well,
I never did it. So I mean,
No, I don't, because I can just pick up my SNES, which I can
This is
pick
true.
up. If you don't have a SNES, you can go out and buy a Dreamcast for 15 quid, a SNES for 15 quid, a NES for 30 quid. You can, for like 400 quid, you can have every single of the best
Amazing.
game.
Personally, I wouldn't trade my youth playing the Mega Drive and the NES and the SNES for anything.
I would.
But now is the best time to be alive
Totally.
if you're a gamer, or if you're even interested in any. I mean, look at it. Casual games reach more people now than they ever have with the iPhone games, with the Wii, the casual motion gaming. And you've got your hardcore Skyrims on the other side of the bench there.
the gaming bench, yes.
The gaming bench,
Gaming bench.
of course.
The benchmark for gaming.
Yeah.
Of course, the bench.
So, of course, if you like what we've been talking about today, please rate and subscribe to us on iTunes. Helps us out a lot. Find us on Twitter and Facebook, Ready Game Fire. If you want to email us, it's contact@readygamefire.co.uk.
And if you want to come to Gamerdisco, it is on the 10th of October at the Book Club in Shoreditch, which is on Lennon Street. We hope to see you there.
And if you're coming to the after party for your gamer anyway, we'll all see you there as well. It's gonna be
Oh, that's going to be a big one. That will be a big one.
Can't wait. Anyway, so like I said, Dave from Gamerdisco, he couldn't make it today, but here's his band, The Fades, with Meccano. That was the Ready Game Fire podcast, episode 32. It's goodbye from me, Chris Fox. Goodbye from Mike Power.
Bleep bloop 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 bloop.
Okay, and it's goodbye from Nicky Biscuit.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Ready Game
Love you.
Fire.
Fantastic. Thank you ever so much. Wonderful to be on. Thank you.